Welcome back. Wow. Well, I don't know what I did. Huh, probably accident. Oh, I anyhow, it's kind of funny. I've never had Blender 3 open and used my hotkey for firing up recording on OBS before. Apparently it triggers something, so thankfully it failed. Yes, this is Star Trek-ish. I give myself kind of a speed building challenge earlier today. It's not perfect. It's just actually, let me see if I can get a better lighting. Not really. I don't think I got a better. Let's try these other. You know what? Let's just put it in look dev with regular viewport and throw a matte cap on it. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta add all my matte. I went to blend. Sorry, I'm just rambling here. I have about, I think, 40 matte caps once I realized how to make them. But I just need the shiny red one here. Here we go. This one helps me find creases. Yeah, a few of you and people I've known for a long time are I'm gonna say permanently invested into this universe, the universe that this shape. I'm gonna say Star Trek. That this is a very familiar and welcoming shape to see a ship in. It is laughably able to call it a Star Trek ship, but yeah, I just quickly whipped up in body a fake shuttle deck. My crack super quick at a forward hull or saucer section, and then I did the teardrop bridge. Actually, I did something like that. Actually, I do kind of want to show that. Is it going to let me do it? Yeah. The teardrop bridge here. When you let me see, what's the best way to do this? Maybe select it, and why is it not letting me do that? We're in edit mode. Oh, there we go. If you see the topology up here, and I can turn the matte cap to something more plain. This funny waffle pattern, if you select circles and and you delete it from the top of like a cylinder, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, or a UV sphere, they pinch in the middle and it looks horrible. I saw a video, and I'm really sorry, I can't remember whose video it was, but the fellow made an edge wherever it was like fit the design. He selected that pinched single vertex in the middle and deleted it and the faces that were left. Then he ring selected the of course I can't ring select right now because of the new topology, but he did like a ring select just like this. And then there's a close with a grid. I'm trying to remember. Maybe I can find it here. Something grid. It's not grid like this. It's I think it's in the face menu. Yeah, fill with grid. So, or grid fill. And it just makes this nice stitch pattern that if you look at the bottom, I'm glad I left that there now. For fun, let's just see if I can do this. Yep. So if I delete that, didn't really intend to do a little blender thing, but so now let's go into edge here. I didn't intend to so I got the ring selected. So now if I go here, grid fill, there it is. Watch this, boom, done. And it looks funny, but when you click off or you zoom away, or let's put the matte cap back. Like, look how smooth it is. And this is now pretty easy to edit. It's in my opinion, it's easier to deal with than what was there before. But that's just my opinion. In fact, you can pull this out and you get a very nice a lift. Like I just did a little one here. You get a very nice round lift, and it stitches everything together as quads. Now there's some things I might do to clean this up, in my opinion. Like I might make a cut through all of these to the back here and a cut there and change it. But it's still pretty cool trick. Again, I don't want to waste your time, so hopefully this tiny Blender tutorial, and I can't really call it a tutorial because I only found out about it, I think, accidentally sometime this week, and I can, fortunately, I can't remember what person showed me that. So if you're watching, if you ever do, thanks. It's really cool. I don't know how long it's even been in Blender, but to me that's awesome. So anyhow, I speed modeled this in half an hour or so today, just farting about and trying some tools and doing some things. And there's a thing that I put in Blender because I know some of my friends watching this are they like Blender too, and it's the fast bool. So I'm gonna find it down here somewhere. The object bool tool. This one's really handy. Control-Shift-B to instantly cut a bool or do proper boolean operations. I really like it. Anyhow, I'm going to digress now. Let's get back to the original thing. This is a pretty iconic sort of shape, even though the details are not much there. But at that distance, it's pretty good. So, I mean, I didn't do too much. Like I purposely cut the nacelles in that way and did a few things, but I knew you weren't going to be too close to it because I'm not going to say that, in Godot, which is where I take those meshes from Blender, we can have a quick look at it here. It's probably not going to let me select it that way because I have select sub. Oh, it did. Look at that. It just didn't display it. So there's our Connie. In editor, I can get right close. I just slapped a texture on, and because I did it in some parts, I could use box mapping back here, and you have this sort of beat up, sort of like a beat up, being worked on sort of look. And again, I did this right quick. This is more so kind of like for fun. But yeah, this was just in Blender, and it took me about a minute to export from Blender and bring into Godot this way. Once you do it a few times, you're going to get used to it. But one of the things I wanted to use this ship for was to show off something else that was being done on the other ships. And if you see this black spot here, which looks really ugly right now, and this glob that I put on top of the bussard things, or however you pronounce them, it actually has an animation that plays on it. It's actually worth looking at. Let's see. Did I put that in FX? No, you see, I can't remember where I put something, right? Figures. Thruster block, thruster cone. Oh, these are both worth looking at. I'm going to open them both. In Engine Glow. So it started out with this one. I imported this from another model. This is just several images of a jet turbine overlaid and mirrored and whatever until I got a look. But what makes this do what I want is a tiny little script. Just does a few things, sets it up. It also, this blurb here, there's a blurb that lets the object know whether it's running in my editor or whether it's running in the game, because I don't need this camera in the game, but I do need this camera in preview mode, because in Godot you can run just the scene. You don't have to run the whole program. And so you see here, I can use the HDRI color value on the main texture without even using emission. You can drive colors higher than their normal values Godot and Blender both understand that should now be emissive. So I need a real camera though in the scene. It doesn't actually just show up in the preview without setting some things up. So anyhow, I did this to just show it pulsing. Then I thought, okay, well, what about square thruster box? So again, it's gonna pulse, you know, nothing too fun there. I'm gonna get rid of thruster cone. But then there was this one, and I thought there's places in the ships that are more like reactors, and I want that to show up as a reactor. So I did, but because of what I did, it's kind of black here when it's not running. There's not much I can do about that. But what it is, it's animated. In Godot, you can animate just about any property. So in the script, I do a quick check to see if there's an animation player, and if there is one, just start it. And I'm also, of course, here pulsing the color values. So in this case, the material, the albedo texture, it's just kind of a noise, one of my detail noise maps from some pack, or no, I think JS placement, a few things that I noise mapped and flipped around. I've got, unfortunately, so many textures that unless I open the texture and read the text file, I don't know where they came from right off the top of my head. But I just apply that, and you can see it's pretty dark, but what I'm doing in script is adjusting this color, right? Like it's just sitting there right now. If I crank this color up, you're like, okay, well that's red, that's fine. But what happens if I go into red and I make that 400? Well, it doesn't do anything in RGB value. If you hop over to raw and I make red 6, now it emits. You can do that in Godot, which is very cool. Well, in my opinion, it's pretty cool. I imagine there's a few people out there that agree with me. But anyhow, there's that. So, don't save. So here we are back here again. To really see this shine, I'm just going to run this. When I make this go full screen, unfortunately, you guys are going to go black for a second. As soon as it loads up and sets all the stuff. I don't have a loading screen, but you can see that Godot is what it's made in. Oh yeah, I forgot, some of the ships actually go off on their own automatic waypoints. See if I can see one. I saw him go. Oh, there goes one. But yeah, let's go to the Connie. And there, you see the engines are idling. Yeah, the engines are idling. The bussard collectors, or whatever you want to call them, are whoa, that was a real, both of them just went by. Whoa. Anyhow, sorry, I just find that fascinating myself. Let's tell our little Connie to go somewhere. So I know the real Star Trek ships don't have big thrusters off the back, but I just haven't cleaned them off, or the roll or the RCS thruster markers. I can delete them later. But if I give it a few waypoints here, let me just queue up a few, which reminds me I got to edit that command screen, because right now it's parented to the ship. If I can throw a few good waypoints down here, we can go for a ride. So now it's going to fly its way around, so we can see. That's the animations there just running. We're in the bright side, so when we get away more on the dark or the shadowy side, you can see the whatever you want to imagine that to be. And of course you can change the texture and make it look more solid or more fluid, and it does sort of spring, because I didn't spend much time to make that completely seamless, so it does do sort of there you go, see that little tick. I don't know if the web is catching that, but there's a little tremor that they all do at the same point. But yeah, there's our ship. There's a little bit of a weird texturing on the top because I didn't redo the texturing the when I pulled that top out, I didn't retexture it. But if I hadn't have taken that pinch off the top, it would pinch together like the bottom is right here, right? But because I took it off, it's mapped in a weird kind of way. So I forgot to go in and remap that before I exported this. Now, if I went to the saucer section and I give it one of my materials that is box mapped like the rest of the hull, it would just automatically pop into a spot that makes sense. Oh, wow. We were moving because we're at the end of our waypoints. I'm just going to fire a couple more up here. Oh, that's the other thing. That might be entirely because of how far I put them. Some of these big ships, the farther the waypoint, the faster they'll go between the waypoints. Like, unless I put the grid down, you might not get the idea of how fast you're actually moving, because I haven't put a limit on the max speed. Your max speed is actually relative to the distance you have to travel here right now. See, we're moving a pretty far distance. It's kind of hard to tell just from that screen, but I'm just throwing down a ton. Some of the other automated ships, one of them actually has 60 waypoints. In fact, just for fun, let's hop to a different ship. Actually, let's hop to this ship, the original big ship. If you see the blue flecks moving inside there, it too has reactor effects, and it too will require. Oh, there's a near miss by one of the other ones on automated waypoints. Let's see if I can. So, maybe I'll give this thing. Oh yeah, the beams also. I said before, the beams also, when they point at a target, they stop at the target that they're pointing at. They used to pass right through. Anyhow, here's that effect down here. So I don't know how. I hope that's picking up for your monitors, but it's the emission brightness is tied into the engine thrust. So just like the thruster length at the back, the faster you're going or the higher the engine output is, velocity, whatever word you want to throw at it, the brighter that will be. So on the really big long stretches, these short ones might not be very bright, but you'll catch it. It's actually emitting light from that texture, especially if you get to the shadow side there. Ooh. And it just has that fluid sort of effect, like, I don't know. I thought it looked cool, so I kept it in. Oh, there's one of the other people on their waypoints down there. Whoa, we really moved there. Wow. Yeah, we're moving. Let's zoom out here. I really gotta fix that waypoint generator, but oh yeah, this ship also has like the debug marking. So there's that little disc that's near that. That's the radius within. If you get within a waypoint, they go away. I think I mentioned that in the previous video. That brighter blue radius around it is the effective range of the current weapons. Of course, they're not set up to shoot anything yet, but as we're flying out here, that's just we're getting near the waypoint. Oh, yeah, we're moving really fast. Oh, there's big asteroids. Remember, this ship here is kind of the size of a building on its side, because if you know Star Trek, the size of the Enterprise style ship there, and this building is this ship is slightly bigger than that. So it's I go the old typical loop around the asteroid here. us with some speed. And that bubble and ring back there, that's home. Except you can't click the full way. I'm going to have to make a map overlay that pops up over top, so you'll be able to click sort of on the typical 2D. Yeah, we're moving really fast there. That'll pop up on the typical overlay. New navigation point, and boom, here we go. We're back. Oh, that was home. Oh, there goes one of the other ships. I think that's the one that still has 60 waypoints, so let's just tab over to that one. There's the Connie. Yeah, here's one of the Tri-Cruiser. So it doesn't have its reactor stuff or any of that stuff put on it yet, or too much of the window dressing, so to speak. But it's just another one of the big ships. And look, we got to him just as he returned. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, we're all back. It flew, in that time, it flew 60 waypoints. So they all work. Let's take a small fella here. This fellow here's got the wrong scale. He should actually be way smaller. This is kind of a bomber. That fella here, he's almost 4 times bigger than he should be. And then to give you an idea, this one really should be about this size. So even these little fellas, they move. Oop. I deleted that waypoint because we were within the waypoint kill distance. So yeah, and here we are back at the big ship with the guns that can point are pointing, the guns that can't, either by arc of fire limiting or like this one can't get a bead on it because the angle. You're going to be able to place those guns wherever. Oh, and on the top there's a test of one of those square thrusters just to see how they would look, and they did work. Let's give them a long haul. If we get close, when he starts up that long haul, the engines are going to go full power. He's almost white on that top brick. You can see the whatever you want to call it. Ooh, we made it there pretty quick because yeah, speed right now is relative to the distance you got to travel, which is kind of nice for getting around. But it's not how things actually work. These ships will eventually have an actual maximum speed. But I've gotten used to flying them, for lack of a better term. Ooh. Who's that? I think that's that little ship that I flew out there. I don't think I accidentally spawned another ship. Oh, that's the Connie. So yeah. Yeah, it's just going to kill that waypoint because it's inside the movement disk. But yeah, there we go. So there's the update for today. If you've watched this long, you definitely into ships and space and that kind of stuff. So thanks for watching, and hope you liked it, and catch you in the next video. Bye.